afternoon. Always a pleasure to have you tuned in here on KTN News Desk as we take a look at the biggest stories of the day. The country definitely still trying to get the hang of the number of corruption scandals that are in different government agencies. We have those updates. Engineer Michael Kamau, the former Cabinet Secretary for Transport's house, was raided this morning as the EACC opens fresh corruption allegation charges. We have that for you, and of course a conversation that has erupted once again on pro-abortion. My name is Akisa Wandera. I want us to head straight to Mombasa, where it is day 3 of the Legislative Summit, and currently speaking is Deputy President William Ruto addressing members who are present in Mombasa. Let's go over there live and listen in.
And when I came here and the first speaker, Maimuna Salim, the member of County Assembly of Shanghai, spoke, she did not disappoint. The heart of the issue was central to the issues that affect members of County Assembly. But I reserve my comments to later on those two matters. Let me say a few things first. Number one, this summit is the largest assembly of legislators elected by the people of Kenya. While we have 349 legislators who support us as the national government, we have close to 2,300 legislators that manage devolution. And that confirms the centrality of devolution in our constitution and in the development of our country. I say so because it therefore confirms that this is a very important summit bringing together legislators from all our 47 counties that speak on behalf of the people of Kenya. I also take note that legislators are a very central and integral part of the implementation of our Constitution, because it is legislators who translate the letter and the spirit of the Constitution to laws and policies and programs that then roll out our development program. We must therefore consistently build capacity in our legislators so that they can achieve and they can help us achieve that so important function of implementing our Constitution in a manner that reflects the wishes and the will of the people, especially on the type of the laws that are made, on policies that are rolled out and implemented, from CIDPs to budgets and all that are in between. And it is our belief that as we legislate, as you carry out your cardinal principle of legislation, the people's interests will be front and center, and their interests. For those of us who were privileged to be part of the people who went to Bomas and fashioned our new Constitution, let me say there are 3 principles that underpin devolution: resources, power, and accountability. When we fashioned devolution, at the heart of that discussion was how to share resources equitably and eliminate the cancer of marginalization and ensure every part of Kenya is as catered for and belongs as any other part of Kenya. Today, we have 1.1 trillion Kenya shillings that has been devolved, with 54 billion being conditional grants, speaking to the matter of resources, distribution of resources. The second principle is exercise of power. And today, legislators in every county, because of the power that they have, our development paradigm and our development programs are anchored on locally developed priorities. It is people at the local level, as opposed to what happened in the past. People in wards are the people who now develop CIDPs. They are the ones who speak to what priorities are going to be rolled out in counties. And that was at the heart of devolution. And the third issue is accountability, which is a very integral part of any meaningful development in any country, in any county, and in any place. It was envisaged that members of county assembly would hold government at the lower level to account. And in fact, it was envisaged that we would have direct public audit on government programs, government expenditure, government budgets, and government plans. And when I say government, I mean government both at the national and at the county level. And I want to warn you that that is huge authority and power on your shoulders. I want you to know that the more authority you have, the more responsibility comes with that authority. And the more responsibility that you have, the greater the accountability expected of you. Therefore, as you discharge your responsibility, you must have it at the back of your mind that you have the resources, you have the power to decide on those resources, but ultimately, all of us, beginning with those of us who have the power to use those resources, must be ultimately accountable. I am, however, happy that over the last 5 years, we have seen a lot of progress. We have seen a lot of capacity built in our legislature, especially the new legislature in the counties. The partnership between Senate and the county assemblies has seen progressively the mismatch that originally existed between existing laws and the spirit and letter of the Constitution has progressively been narrowed. And I want to encourage you to continuously build that capacity so that we can better translate the spirit and letter of the Constitution to laws and policies that have the people and their interests at the front and center. The second item that makes me happy is in 2013, 2014, we had huge challenges of how much money was being allocated for development vis-a-vis recurrent expenditure. And while the Public Finance Management Act provides that a minimum of 30% must go to development. In 2013-2014 financial year, an average of 36% of all resources devolved went to development. And we had a big argument with many governors, pioneer governors, and many legislators. But I'm happy that progressively, the year 2016-17 has seen resources allocated to development move from 36% to 65%. Meaning that more and more counties working between the county assemblies and the county executives today are allocating more money for development programs rather than to recurrent expenditure. I want to say congratulations. We are making progress. In fact, a report of the Comptroller and Auditor General shows that a county like Taita Taveta has actually moved to 69% of all the resources are now allocated to matters development. Mandera is at 51%, meaning that more and more counties are becoming sensitive to allocations of resources going to matters that are dear to our electorate, matters development, water, roads, bursaries, and
Well, Deputy President William Ruto there is speaking at the Legislative Summit on day 3 as the guest of honor, just talking about how far things have come as far as devolution and the implementation of the Constitution is concerned. I want us to take a quick break. When we get back, if at all, the Deputy President will still be speaking. We'll definitely be going back to Mombasa live as he addresses the 3rd Annual Legislative Summit. Don't go too far.